Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. It has been an interesting year. We have had a global pandemic. We have had riots because of police just, I guess, feeling like, people should be able to get arrested and make it to the jail. You know what I mean? So any other work, any other job, any other form of employment, and if you're supposed to bring someone from here to there and they end up dead, that's a big deal. We had riots, we had, oh my goodness, we had Trump get in there and call football players SOBs if they want to have some sort of protest against the violence. I mean, it was a year just unlike any other year that I can remember. I've been dating, and because of the pandemic, hadn't seen my girlfriend, I think, but like once in this is real, no cap, hadn't seen my girlfriend in like, I don't know, maybe once in the last 7 months or something like that. Probably longer. It's probably something like once in the last 8 months or something like that. She lives 20 minutes away, but because of the pandemic, we just haven't seen each other but one time. And yeah, that's the real thing. And I went, and this is a funny story. I told somebody this, not trying to be funny, and they thought this was hilarious. I was in my girlfriend's area. Again, she lives 20 minutes away, so I'm in her neck of the woods. And because her and her family feel extremely strong about COVID, you can imagine if you're dating someone and you have not seen them in 7 months, like you do not come, you have not seen them in 7 months or so, I would say you feel pretty strongly about COVID. So, I'm in her area thinking about her. Her favorite is Oreos. So just while I'm in the area, I stop and grab her some Oreos, and she likes Takis. So I grabbed her some Takis, and instead of just hitting the highway and heading back home, I grabbed the Oreos and Takis, put them in a bag. I know how they feel about COVID, so I just put it to the side at her door and then just left and text that I sent, you a little snack. And this really happened. So she goes to the door and opens the door to reach out and grab the bag of Oreos and Takis. And her dad yells, "Oh my God, the door's open, we're gonna die," or something to that effect. No cap, something to that effect. "Oh my God, the door's open." And then I get a series of text messages on how World War III has just broken out in the home because she opened the door to pick up a bag of Oreos. And so then I get home and I either call or text, how are the Oreos? And she says she doesn't know because her father has quarantined the Oreos. No cap, no joke. He sat the Oreos somewhere he considered safe and was going to quarantine the cookies for 24 hours, to my understanding. Yeah, that's 2020. That's happening. That's what's going on. And with the new year, I'm gonna go into a few videos about when I started dating, coming right out of Watchtower, what that was like being in a cult your whole life and then dating people for the first time outside of that. I'm going to go into, for me, what that was like. But every time there's a new year, I just want to text all my relatives like, hey, it's a new year. Armageddon still hasn't come, and it's 2021. Are we starting to wake up yet? Because not only is the generation of 1914, which was, of course, as we all know, an important year for Jehovah's Witnesses, because they said that the people that were alive in 1914, that generation from 1914, would still be alive when the Jehovah's Witnesses preached Armageddon comes. When what Jehovah's Witnesses say is going to be a global apocalypse where God destroys everyone who did not listen to Jehovah's Witnesses would take place. So that was our measuring stick. Growing up, that was our measuring stick. I remember talking about it a lot in the car groups when we would get into cars, pack up in cars, go knocking on people's doors. We would talk about the generation of 1914. How old are these people? So that gives us a little time frame as to when the end of the world was going to come. Well, that's out the window. Not only is that out the window, but the generation of 1960, if you were born in, not let alone 1914, if you're born in 1960, you're looking at not having many years left, most likely. And that's what boggles my mind, because I was born and raised a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, this light, it must be broken or something, and there's a camera on it. So I'm gonna have to, there we go, green. I wasn't about to do anything, you know. So the DMV, if you guys are looking at this, and yeah, I wasn't about to do anything but wait patiently for the light. So what I was saying is, I grew up in a religion that was telling everybody the end of the world was coming, and it was coming soon. And it was coming within the time frame of the people that were born around 1914. They're not going to die before it happens. So now, all of those people, a lot of those people that were saying that, they themselves have lived their entire life cycle. The people I remember growing up with, a lot of them are dead. And the ones that are not dead, a lot of them are, that's close to their future here. So I'm trying to find a nice way of saying all these people are about to die. Like, we're living our entire life cycle. The people that were saying the end of the world was going to come they're now about to die themselves, let alone the generation of 1914. And I wonder, how can they still stay? If you're in your 60s and 70s and your life cycle is pretty much about near the end of it, that means you have knocked on people's doors talking about the end of the world is around the corner for I don't know how long, and you see it's not around, it was not around the end of the corner. You see it was not about to happen soon, because your entire life is almost over with. And you also see that all that knocking on doors didn't do too much to bring a lot of people in that religion, because you guys are selling off kingdom halls. You're condensing. You got a bunch of empty buildings because there's not that many people in it. So you sell off some Kingdom Halls and pack people all together. And these buildings are small. So if you can sell off, if you have 3 of these buildings and you can sell off 2 of them and pack all of the people that were in both of those 2 buildings into one, and the building isn't that big to begin with, you know you did not have that many members. So not only was the end of the world never around the corner like what we were saying for so many years, around the corner does not mean your whole lifespan is about to be over with. It is not going to be here. Not only that, but the whole quote unquote worldwide preaching work hadn't even been bringing in enough people for y'all to keep your Kingdom Halls open. You're having to sell, and you're selling globally, or at least all around the country. I mean, you're selling Kingdom Halls because you can't fill them up. Everything is falling through, and if you are older, you have a better life vantage point. You can look back on your life and say, yeah, this is all happening. So I don't understand why those people aren't waking up. It's 2021. You have seen, if you've raised a Jehovah's Witness, you've seen the people you have knocked on doors side by side with die. And nothing that they were hoping for came to fruition. And you've seen it over and over and over and over and over. And now you're in your 50s and 60s and 70s, and you don't think the same exact thing is going to happen to you? What is the purpose at this point? It's 2021. Why are people still in that Watchtower cult? Watchtower didn't know that the end wasn't around the corner. Watchtower didn't know that the generation of 1914 was not still going to be alive, and Armageddon wasn't going to be here. Watchtower didn't know that it should never have dissuaded people from higher education, thinking that the end of the world was so close, because it wasn't. Watchtower didn't know that all those people that they encouraged not to have kids because the end of the world was around the corner, they were wrong. Those people lived their entire lives and could have had kids and could have went to school and could have done a lot of things, and them sacrificing their everything to go knock on doors meant nothing, because Watchtower is just as small now as ever. They're not growing. It's not working. Watchtower didn't know that. Watchtower is just a man-made organization, just like any other, that didn't know there was going to be a pandemic, didn't know. They don't know any more than anybody else. So comment down below, let me know what you think. It's 2021, new year. I'm about to be working. I got to go to work here in a little bit. And man, I need to hurry up and get back, because it's going to be time for me to clock in. But 2021, new year. What do you guys think about when you look back on the whole crazy 2020 that we had? Comment down below. Let me know what you think. X Walk Hill Bethelite signing out.